Hello there, I'm Anne-Marie Powell and welcome to my October garden. It's the month of russets and reds, the end of the summer and the start of the autumn. And for gardeners, it's one of the busiest times of year, isn't it? I mean, there are bulbs to plant, hardy annuals to sow in the greenhouse or a cold frame if you're lucky enough to have one, and lawns to put to bed, and also lots and lots of clearing away of our summer annuals that have given us so much joy. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about today, is just what are we going to put in our pots and hanging baskets once we've cleared away all of the spent cosmos and other lovely summer annuals. Well, I've got an idea for you. There's nothing better to me than the sunny, happy smiles of things like violas. I just think these little pansies are just so cheerful, and they go through all kinds of weather. Last year mine kind of put up with snow, ice, frost, deluges of rain, and they're so easy to look after. Put your winter containers somewhere that you can enjoy them. I like to have hanging baskets near to the door and a couple of pots just to welcome visitors and me back from when I've finished work for the day. Now let's get to putting together our hanging basket. Now one quick tip with this is often hanging baskets have a round bottom. So if you put them on top of a bucket as you're planting them, you'll find them much easier to get on with. I love this one. It's got a really kind of woodlandy kind of feel, warm and welcoming in lots of stripped timber and bark. And all I need to do is fill it up with peat-free compost, making sure that I've got the level just low enough to accommodate the plant's root balls, and I'm good to go. What I will do is I'll add in some water retaining granules. Now this will save you on the watering, just releasing water to the plant's roots as they need it. Good tip with this, make sure it's fully hydrated with water before you put them into your hanging basket. Otherwise you'll find you have a bit of a volcano of compost and lots of plants down on the ground, which we don't want. Just mix it in a little bit, firm the soil back down again, and then choose what you're going to plant. I love these pansy cool wave strawberry swirl. Every time I look at a pansy's face, it just makes me smile. Now these are in exactly the right quantities in the pot, so we can just simply transplant them, taking as much of the root ball as possible, and just pop them into their new home. These are just so beautifully easy to kind of just take from the container and just pop them in, evenly spaced, tightly packed. The closer together, the more flower you will have, and just distribute them just as they are in this container. Now time to just squeeze in the very last one. I'll just pack back the compost, just making sure that all of the roots have got lots of contact with the soil and there aren't any air pockets around them. That's not good. And we just make sure that the final level of the compost is about 1 centimetre or so from the top of the pot. That just allows you to water it, and the water stays in the pot rather than just spilling all over the edge. So there we go, that's all in. Now there should be enough feed in this compost to keep these going over the winter months. But sometimes I like to put a slow release fertiliser in there, something like fish blood and bone, just to keep it going. Time for some gravel. Now I like to use horticultural grit. What that does is it keeps the water in, it keeps the weeds out, keeps the wet away from a plant's crown as well. And that will just make your plant a little bit happier if it's got a collar going all the way around its lovely tiny leaves. So keep on going all the way around, just lifting the plant where you need to. To be honest, these plants are pretty robust, and even though they look dainty, you'll find that they take an awful lot of forgetting to water them, the weather, the rain, and they're just always so sunny and happy for you to enjoy, no matter the weather or the day that you've had. And there we are. It's taken me all of 5 minutes, and that will keep me happy for months. So that's my hanging basket. Now, if you've got a bit more space and hanging baskets, you can have anywhere, can't you? You could plant up a trough, and I'm really liking these timber boxes. They'll silver up as the weather progresses and they age, and they'll look great on my oak deck. So I'm going to plant these up in exactly the same way. You could plant bulbs underneath these violas just to give you a little bit more extra oomph come the spring. So I'm going to plant these up with a mix of these gorgeously pretty plants. I love these ones in purple and orange, my favourite colours. So what I'll do is I'll just place these out, just making sure that I've got everything in position in exactly the way that I want them to be. And I think we'll have some jolliness where we'll mix these up with maybe some more of the Cool Wave strawberry swirls. And that will just mean that my planters will match my hanging baskets. So when we go, we know those are there. So, and you just literally squeeze the bottom of the pot and use your hand, or you can use a trowel, and just pop them in, just leaving about an inch of space around the top of the pot. There we go. 1, 2, and 3 of these jolly little dazzlers. In they go. I think I'll mix these in with more of these swirls. Now, here we go. Such pretty, joyful colours, aren't they? Just teasing them apart. I think you'll find it easier to break the plants away than putting them all in one go. So here we go. Nearly there. Just firm them down into your peak free. Make sure they're sitting up pretty and nicely. An even finish to the compost. Might need a bit more. Just at the corners. And again, the top dressing of gravel. Keeps the weeds out, keeps moisture in, and gives it a really good professional finish. So there we are. The last thing for me to do is to get out the watering can and give this a really good drink. It's taken me 5 minutes, and it will literally give me months of pleasure. Happy gardening, everyone.